Souls correspondent, Kevin
That's what
VanOrd.
I'm here for.
Dark Souls is coming out on the PC pretty soon, right? Next couple of weeks?
Yeah,
So,
April 25th.
Almost a month after the console versions.
Yeah.
And we have a look at it right here. So
A lot of work went into making sure that this looked exactly like it does on consoles, except the higher resolution. What are you doing to me, Danny?
Keep going. Nothing.
Touch me.
It's touching.
So oh god.
It's the host prerogative. You just have to let it happen and continue like it's
This
not
is
happening.
my set.
So the game
You want to
is
be a
not
star,
out.
don't you?
So I don't know who these people are. I guess they're other press members. Like when I get close, I see the ghosts and whatnot. So there was some dude here just a minute ago when I first came in. But so I'm hoping that I'll show something that hasn't been shown on the show yet, because I mean people have seen it. But what I mean is something that I haven't shown on this show.
And if folks
Yes.
have any questions at all for the PC version of Dark Souls 2 for Kevin, please send them on in. First of all, I'm going to ask the super obvious question. Does this look better on a PC?
Well, it does because it runs at a higher resolution. And it runs at a higher frame rate, good 60 frames a second.
Okay.
You know, so.
But in terms of like effects or
the rest, exactly the same.
Okay.
It's platform parity in the strictest sense of the term. The lighting model does not look like it did in the pre-release versions that we saw. So people that are pretty sensitive to that have seen the comparisons between the initial showings of the game and so forth. But I'm gonna have her move. Oh no, she wants 2,000 souls and I don't even have enough souls.
Insufficient
I'll be
souls.
quick. I'll try to be as quick as I have. Let's see if I have any souls that I can use in my inventory.
no problem. You're playing this on a pad right now, right?
No, I'm gonna go and kill some things real fast.
All right. Murder
Go
stuff.
do a murder and don't die
just-
from it.
I'll just go and kill something real fast. I promise.
Okay. That's we'll see.
So that I can get into areas that we have yet to show.
First question comes in from CYP View, asks, how will this mouse and keyboard work with this game? You're playing on a pad at the moment.
Yeah, I am playing with a pad at the moment because I still think ultimately it's better with a pad for several reasons. It plays okay on mouse and keyboard. Much better than the original for sure, which, as you recall, just showed the mouse pointer on the screen all of the time.
Yes.
Which was ridiculous, and the key bindings were stupid, and now you can use a mouse and keyboard just fine. But there are a few caveats though that I want to make sure to mention. One of which is that you're always seeing the mouse or the Xbox 360 prompts. Even when you're using a mouse and keyboard, all of the prompts are still going to be for the Xbox 360.
Okay.
And also, you're still if you want to just use the Xbox 360 controller, you're still going to need the mouse and keyboard for doing things like, for example, typing in your name when you have to give it your name, because it doesn't have like a pop-up thing when you're using a keyboard. So it's like, okay, well, I'm going to have to get close to that. I'll try to kill this thing real quick.
Kill this big, massive, hulking dude. While you do that, I'm going to ask a couple more questions. Abyss_Archer asks, what's the maximum frame rate? In fact, M&M Stranger asked, can you get higher than 60 frames per second?
I think it's locked down at 60, I think. Because when I was running this, it was, when I was using fraps while I was playing, it was showing only 60. It never got over 60. I have 2,000, so I'm going back now.
Can you have a look at the view there?
Yeah, let's take a look at the view. Sure.
It's all pretty.
It is pretty. The highest tower of flame is a great place to just hang out and look at the view. In terms of Dark Souls 1, the draw distances are better and so on and so forth. I mean, in terms of the pure port, it's a much better port than the original Dark Souls in the sense
the first one was riddled with issues, right?
Yeah. In the sense that this is what
functional?
You would expect, then yes, it's a much better port. On the other hand, I fully imagine that the Dark Souls community will be on top of this.
Yes.
Really quickly.
Like there was
what kind of stuff do you think?
Well, I'm sure there will be HD texture packs.
You're going the wrong way.
For one, I am going the wrong way.
Like so many of the questions we're already receiving are about, like, for instance, Andrew is bored X2 asks, does it support 120 Hz monitors? Like so much of this game, the community on the PC was all about the minutiae of how this looked and how they could upgrade it and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah, that was, it's going to be interesting to see what oh, I missed this chest, sorry.
You don't by any chance know off the top of your head if it supports 120 Hz?
I don't know off the top of my head, but Oh gosh, I'm trying to think of what monitor I played it on at home, but I played the PC version on my TV, my old TV at home. So I don't know that I have the exact anser for you. I'm so sorry.
It does look sharper though. It looked like, obviously it's a higher resolution, so it would. But
it's a higher resolution. But here's an interesting thing. We did a graphics comparison here. IGN did a graphics comparison. Oops, wrong thing. No, I don't want to buy that.
That was close.
Yeah, it was close. I would have wasted that. But here's the thing: like, if you drop this to 1280 by 720 and ignore the frame rate, the game looks exactly the same on all platforms. Okay. It's amazing just how exact it looks. So if you're a PC gamer that really wants the extras, you're not going to get a whole lot of bells and whistles. But again, I think we're going to see the community get on top of this. And I'm really bad at talking and playing at the same time.
Don't worry about it.
So I have a lot of ums to share with everybody.
You're just walking through these totally safe areas, which is the heart of the Dark Souls experience.
Yes. But of course, in this version, this is the first. I had to play a bunch today because my save game at home doesn't upload to the cloud, and I could not find for the life of me where the save game file is kept, or if it's just like within the the actual Dark Souls file.
Speaking of that stuff, Andrew Board X2 asks on Twitch, is there Steam overlay support? Is this being put at your Steam?
There is Steam overlay. I was able to use the Steam overlay while I played Dark Souls 2.
Excellent.
He's not going to like it because I don't have the gift. So let's go on. Let's activate this. This bonfire.
Can't ask him to give you a gift, or is that too forward?
No,
does that violate the etiquette of strange men sitting on chairs in caves?
You need this gift for me to give you my gifts.
Whoa! Prerequisites for gifts.
So yeah, it's a little strange. It's like in order to get my birthday present, somebody has to have already given you their birthday present.
Well, that's the way the real world works, Kevin. You don't get a birthday present without giving one.
Again, some super specific nice questions here. Anon828 on Twitch is asking, is the cross-region play restriction option in the PC version?
You know what? I don't know. Let's take a look and see what the menus tell us.
You can invert the access.
Cross-region play restricted. Yes, it was there.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it there? Okay. I didn't see it.
It was above the bottom 3 bars.
Oh, there you're right. Cross-region play restricted.
Is it just unrestricted and restricted?
Allowed.
All right, cool.
Restricted, same thing here. Jump controls. Yeah, so you can change. So this is exactly as it was in the console version, actually.
Yeah.
There's actually a different menu to go in for things like key bindings, where I had to look up certain things because, again, all of the prompts are Xbox 360 controller prompts, even when using a mouse and keyboard.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had to do a little bit of digging. But I will say this: it feels relatively natural with a mouse and keyboard once you get used to the. A lot of the Dark Souls idiosyncrasies about how long animations take and so on and so forth.
Affinity on Twitch asks, how is the port gameplay wise? We've talked a lot about the graphics in terms of how it plays.
It's exactly the same, which is to say it's awesome. I think Dark Souls 2 is an awesome game. I thought Dark Souls 1 was an awesome game. And
Kevin, your health is a little low.
Yeah, gonna do that.
Do you ever play that? Do you ever do that parry game? You go for parries ever?
I've never been a big parrier in Dark Souls, and I'm fine with that because of the way I play.
I think it's parrier.
Parrier. Oh, so it's the fancy kind of parrying.
Yeah.
It's the kind of parrying you can only get in a bottle, really.
Hit that dude.
Bang. Whack. Kersplat.
You've been playing this game quite a lot on various platforms.
I have, but this is the first time I'm really going through this area on the PC. So.
But how do you? Is this a game you play for a long period of time? Are you still enjoying it?
I love Dark Souls 2. Yeah, I mean, I love the series. I've loved all of the Souls games. There's a reason Demon's Souls was our game of the year, shockingly over favorites like Assassin's Creed 2 and Uncharted 2, which came out the same year. So yeah, I really, really love this series. I still am curious, what would this game have been if that, the lighting model we had first seen had made it through? Would it have been more atmospheric, less atmospheric?
The lighting model that you're referencing was just like so much more in depth.
It was in depth. The dark was darker. The real-time lighting really made, everything flickered and glowed. Like all of the flames looked really remarkable, and it had a different look and a different feel than what we ended up getting.
I hope the same isn't the case for, is it Below? No, what's the game? The game that's using Panta Ray.
Deep Down.
Deep Down, yeah. I hope the same isn't the case for that, because so much of the gameplay videos they've shown of that, or at least the technical videos of that, show off how like one piece of lighting in a dark cave can really add to like the atmosphere and in ways the gameplay as well, if you're like using the light.
Yeah, and I think heading into sort of the next generation of consoles, people were saying like lighting is going to be one of those huge places where we do see those differences. You know, the complexity of the lighting model, the kind of ambiance it can create, the depth of shadows and fog effects, and all this dynamic stuff. That's sort of one of the frontiers in which processing power still, has a long way to go.
And a lot of people, I'm poisoned, which is great.
Poisoned!
I mean, one of the things people point out is like, hey, graphics don't matter. Nobody comes to Dark Souls for graphics. But
Kevin, you're gonna die like now.
I know, I'm trying to.
You can do it.
But a lot of people, oh, god damn it.
Fall off the cliff.
That's the most embarrassing way to play in the Souls games, totally. But a lot of people, pointing out, nobody comes for the visuals. But, as I pointed out on a little Twitter rant I had today, I think, all those things that we think of as technical, those things are also part of the art design. The textures, the lighting, everything. Just like a painter uses, acrylics or oils or watercolor or whatever, that stuff is still part of the artistic experience. And so I don't think you can really just remove those things from each other. Obviously, you don't need necessarily the power of Tress FX. Or what have you.
Speak for yourself.
Although I think how good Dark Souls would be with Tress FX. Kevin, I'm going to interrupt you there quickly.